Hello, everybody, and welcome to another NintendoFuse Game Chat. I'm Barry, and I'm joined today by Blake,
Hey everybody.
and we are going to be discussing Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Torna The
Oh,
Golden Country. Now, for those of you that do follow a podcast, know my obsession with Xenoblade Chronicles, know how much I love the series and how much I've been looking forward to this game. This game is now out. It's out today as of recording. You can see my copy is still sealed, and that's not because I didn't want to play it. It's because Nintendo dropped a wonderful bomb on
mm,
us during the direct that we got to play it a week early for doing the season pass.
oh,
And as a season pass holder for this game, I was like, all right, we're gonna do it. So I got to play it a week ago. Blake here, also a season pass holder,
you
got to play
betcha.
it a week ago. Blake, what are your initial impressions on this expansion?
Oh yes, I really loved it, Barry. We were just talking. I've gotten pretty close to the final boss now. All my characters are level 50. After playing Xenoblade Chronicles 2, I wanted to finish it, so I had like two bosses left to fight in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and I just didn't finish it at that point for some reason, and so about a month ago, I knew this was happening, and I was like, "All right, I'm going, and I'm gonna finish it." And I did that, and then this dropped, and now I've put in another what 20, 30 hours into my Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Yeah, but it is in a lot of ways I like it more than the original game, and that kind of shocked me. I don't know if it was the fact that I don't have to have kind of this risk of core crystals and dealing with all of that, and not knowing if I'm going to get a blade that I'm going to like to have or not, and that I just didn't like in Xenoblade Chronicles 2. If I was just like, that's my number one, no, I don't enjoy that. That was probably it. And so having this and having my characters and their two blades and just finding them and doing that and going through the story that way, leveling up all of those blades, I just enjoyed that more, I think, than trying to level up like thousands of blades rather than just a couple, you know. So I liked the back and forth fighting action. I like the way you can get them to break, topple, launch, and crash them, smash them there. So it just seemed
That
like
was in the
it
original
flowed
game too.
nicely. Yeah, that's true too. That's right. Yeah. So it just seemed interesting with you can swap and then the next person will topple them, or you could, if you were Adam and you launched them, then you could swap and Mithra would smash them down. It was just kind of like a neat little come in for the final hits a little bit that I enjoyed. So that back and forth stuff, I enjoyed the story a lot. And Jin was probably my favorite character anyway from seeing him the first time in Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I was like, that guy's cool. So that's right. And his story is very fascinating, the original. And then you get to know so much more, even in this, going 500 years in the past, right? So just really getting to experience a lot more of these characters and seeing little nuggets of flashes to the future to what's going to happen in Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I mean, it's well worth your time. It is a lot of fun. So, what do you think, Barry? I know you could talk all day about this too, right?
Oh man.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, it's almost like Xenoblade Chronicles 2 light. And
Mm,
what I mean by that, like
hmm.
when people think, oh, it's a light version, it's the lesser of two, and that's not actually the case with this.
Mm,
It actually, I feel, plays better, and I think if you've been intimidated, this is a great place to start. The fact that you only had six total blades, two per person,
yeah.
while it limiting, I didn't mind it because it meant you can do everything that you needed to. There were areas of Xenoblade Chronicles 2 that like in order to get up, you need to like jump mastery 8 or focus 9, and in order to do that, you had to jumble up your blades, and you had to pull up just like some random common blades that happen to have focus, just so you hit that number, and then had to unequip them all again. And like they literally had like an arsenal of sub blades that were just used for field skills, and it was just, I mean, I did it. I accessed all the areas, and I did enjoy it, but I didn't realize how much I enjoyed not having to worry about swapping the blades out and doing all this other stuff. The gotcha system that you described with
Yeah.
using the core crystals, I
Yeah.
hated that system.
Yeah.
I so badly was like, look, I opened up 100 of these things. Give
Hmm.
me a rare blade at this point.
Yeah.
Like, can you please put a mercy
Hmm.
rule? Like getting
Yeah.
that last blade, and I haven't done a lot of the DLC
Mm.
of the expansion pass,
Mm.
but I got every blade in the initial game and I maxed them all. But getting that final blade, and
Mm.
Cosmos was actually not my final. But just getting it was like, please, my God, like I can only fight this bull so many times in Torgoth to farm legendary crystals before it finally would drop, and I'm like, oh my
Oh,
God, thank God I don't have to
it's
do this
so
anymore.
true. Yeah.
But that system's gone. The
Hmm.
mercenary system, which I actually did like because it did utilize
Mm.
those other blades,
Mm.
that's gone.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
instead, you have the community system. The
Yeah.
community system at first was really like it almost seemed way too slow. Like it like every time you talk to somebody, they're added, and it's like, do you want to
Yeah.
turn this feature off? I'm like, yes. Like
Yes.
instantly, they tell you this is
So
an
true.
annoying feature. We're telling you up front. Here's how to turn it off because we know you're going to be
Yes.
annoyed.
So
And I was
true.
like, I don't know if I'm going to be annoyed by this. And I talked to the next person, and I'm like, okay, yep, I'm annoyed by it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I did like it though. I
Yeah.
liked the fact that the quests were very much building upon. They were
Mm.
prerequisites to quests,
Mm.
and I did them all. Actually,
Mm.
I should say I did 88 out of 89.
Mm.
The 89th one is the hidden NPC. I found him, but you had to buy these 4 information from him, where these golden monsters, and I bought all the information. It was like 1.5 million gil. I bought all the information, but like they're level 67 plus, and I'm at 69, I think. But I'm
Mm.
just at this point, I'm like, do I really want to fool around with this?
Yeah.
Um, so I didn't get him. So I don't know what the reward is if you get all 89.
Mm.
But I maximized all 6 blades completely. I crafted every single thing, and that's
Mm-hmm.
something new too. There's camps now where you can
Yeah.
craft. The shops, like one of the first things in the original Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was I was overwhelmed going to the Argentum Trade, guild, and
Yeah.
just seeing all these shops, like 100 shops run potions and books and
Yeah.
food and desserts, and I'm like, what the heck did I get into? And now the shops are literally down to accessories and ships, and the truth
Yeah.
is, you probably will never use them to buy anything because you can farm and get better stuff anyway.
Yep.
So all this is now done with crafting. All is gathering materials. When you get
Mm.
auxiliary cores, in the original game you would find an auxiliary core, but then you would have to spend materials to power it up so that it would be active. Here they're all instantly active.
Mm.
These are nice quality of life changes.
Mm.
So in that way, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 definitely better than the first.
Mm.
The battle system is new, where you as a player actually have your own moves. Laura and Adam and
Mhm.
Hugo all have their own moves, as opposed to the
Mhm.
original game where Rex and
Mhm.
Mia, and none of them had their own moves. Their
Mhm.
moves are based off of the blades,
Mhm.
and I was like, okay, this is kind of cool.
Mhm.
It did also kind of suck because when leveling a blade, like you have to use a certain move a certain amount of times, and like it would sit on Adam and Hugo for me, and I'm like, come on, switch to another blade. There's no point in using a skill. You're not going to gain anything. Let me
Yeah.
use the chain attack returns, like all the main functions return.
Mhm.
It was weird seeing Gormott Light, as I call it, because again, you really couldn't explore all of Gormott, and things were different.
Mhm. Mhm.
The remix music, anytime there's a song that comes back, it's a remix. I loved that.
Oh
The new
yeah.
music is beautiful.
Oh.
Torna is fun to explore.
Oh yeah.
It's quite big,
Mhm.
and it makes me wish it was in the real game.
Oh yeah.
It
Yeah.
there's mentions of other Titans. Moradane is mentioned, and the Lefroth was
Mhm.
mentioned, and A couple others were mentioned, and it
Yeah.
was like, well, can I go there? Can I go there? Like, no, we can't. No, okay. And very
Yeah.
soon I realized, I'm like, oh wait, I'm not going to every place. I'm not going to. You see Indal, you're not going to Indal.
Yeah.
I really wanted to explore all these other Titans 500 years in the past, but you're
Oh
not going to do.
man.
We're
Yeah.
stuck in Torna and Gormat Light, and that's it. The
Oh
fast
yeah.
travel returns, everything returns. The
Mm-hmm.
story is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
The It's
Mm-hmm.
phenomenal. Oh my god! Like, and here's an interesting thing, and I recommend people do this after you finish this game. Go back to the first game or Xenoblade Chronicles 2,
Mm-hmm.
and just go. Like, I went to the cutscenes, and I just purposely looked for scenes that were flashback scenes, and it's interesting because some of those scenes are actually from this game as well. Like, they actually just reused the same scene, except in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Adam is like cloaked because they were like hiding who he is,
Oh
and then
yeah.
this game he's not. So other than that, like, the dialogue is verbatim. I'm like, oh my god, like, we saw this as a
So
flashback.
cool.
I didn't even put it because I played it so long ago. It didn't connect, and I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my god, that scene. Like, if I had played it back to back, like you
Yeah.
probably like the training scene is like, oh my
Mm-hmm.
god, that's verbatim. That's
That's
so cool.
right.
And also the ending. I'm not spoiling with the ending, but
Okay.
if you play
Yeah.
Xenoblade Chronicles, do you know kind of what the ending is anyway?
Mm-hmm.
Um, it leaves it open, so it's like you know what's coming, and it leads into Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And if you play Xenoblade Chronicles 2, it leaves enough on a cliffhanger that by playing Xenoblade Chronicles 2, you find out what happens just after the credits roll.
Mm-hmm.
Like everyone's left in their own area, and then it ends. And it's like, well, what happens next? And if you play Xenoblade Chronicles 2, there are actually scenes, like flashbacks, that show you what happens immediately after this one ends. So it's really kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just so good.
Oh wow. Yeah, yeah, it really is. So,
How many hours are you in on this now?
I think I'm right around 20 on it. So, yeah, I, uh, I've put right around there, I think now. So to get up to level 50 on everybody, it took about that. Of course, I'm very particular about doing all of the side missions before I do the main quest. So I really did that in Xenoblade Chronicles X. I remembered how much I did that then, that I just left the main story back then, and I was like, oh, I'll just go do all this other stuff. So yeah, and I think that's why I brought it into Xenoblade Chronicles 2 a little bit. So
You're
yeah.
not alone. I
Yeah,
did that
right?
too.
That's right. And
I
it's a
did that
lot of
too.
fun to do that, So that's right.
I every time the new story quest, I quickly looked at the community after a new story cutscene
Yeah,
and saw, oh, the new quest, I got to go do it.
it's so
Forget everything
true.
else.
That's
Um,
right.
I clocked in at just over 33 hours. Some of
Okay.
that was a little bit idle time, so it's probably closer to 31. Um,
Okay.
for reference, the original game I beat in like just over 100 hours, and I wound up putting 300 hours into it.
Yeah,
Like, so an additional 200 hours just of doing other stuff, maximizing, exploring.
that's
This
amazing.
game, 30 hours, 31
Yeah.
hours to completion, doing everything minus those last four. And apparently, in the final area, there's a little hidden area that you could find. Not very hidden, but a nice surprise is waiting for you. A level 100 super boss is there, and it just kind of comes out of nowhere and like one shots you. And I'm like, holy crap! They put a level 100 super boss in this
In this
game.
game.
I,
Oh, that's
I
so
thought
good.
50 was going to be the cap, but you can get to 99 if you want to grind. And
Oh,
I'm sure there are
wow.
people that are doing that.
Yeah.
I don't have the time. I'm
That's right.
99 in the original game. I'm
Uh-huh.
99 with the characters. I'm just not
Okay.
doing it this time.
Yeah, see, I stopped about, I think I was like, I think I'm like 78 in the original game, something like that. Because then I just knew, okay, I'm gonna
Yeah,
have no
that's when
problem with the boss stuff.
that's
And
when I beat it.
yeah, that's right.
That's
So
when
yeah, yeah. So if I ever did, I could go back and do some of that
I
too. But
grinded a lot to get
oh,
to
you did.
99. Like,
Okay, yeah, that's right.
like
So
there's actually a grinding chart. Like from 70 to
oh,
80, kill these enemies, and from 80 to 90, kill these, and from
oh
90,
yeah,
and at the same time, you could farm by doing the break, topple, launch, and smash.
oh yeah.
That actually makes the enemies drop things more.
Hmm.
So you can constantly do that and
Oh
farm
man,
stuff with the right party.
yeah.
I did not actually like the way that was handled in this game.
Oh
Like,
really? Yeah.
break was like, I only used Laura. I didn't switch
Oh,
around.
okay.
I could have,
Yeah.
but I only used Laura.
Yep.
Um, like you could break with her, and then everything else was when swapping characters. So swapping to Topple with Jin, or swapping to Smash with oh, why can't I think of her name now? My God,
Hayes, maybe.
Hayes. That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I almost said
Yeah.
Finn.
Oh
Wrong
yeah.
game. Wrong game.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Hmm.
the problem I had with that is it wasn't totally consistent. Like if you run Jin and you want to switch to Hayes, Hayes now doesn't do the smash attack. And I
Mm,
was like, wait a second, I'm bringing Hayes over. Shouldn't she do that? No, she doesn't do the smash attack.
mm,
So it's only when swapping back and front as opposed to side to side.
mm,
I just liked being able to control that a little bit more.
mm-hmm.
Like there was one quest, it was like do it 5 times, and you've got to do the smash. So I'm sitting there waiting to
Yes.
bring Hayes out, and all of a sudden Adam launches her and instantly Mithra goes like smashes. I'm like, wait, what? No, I
Yeah.
didn't even get a chance to. Like, what are you doing? Like, oh,
That's right.
and I was
That's
so
why I
annoyed.
switched to Adam on that mission because I was like, okay, yeah, I saw that a couple of times and I'm like, all right, no, I can't do this anymore. So I switched to Adam so I could just do the launch with
You
him
did
and
the
smash
smart
with
thing.
Mithra.
I
Yeah.
did it the harder way. I did
Yeah,
everything
that's
just
right.
on Laura.
That's so
Um,
good. Yeah.
and
Oh man.
it's interesting.
Yeah.
Just how much there is to this game.
Wow.
For you're talking, this is a DLC game. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously it's a physical copy. It's a $30 game, but there's
Yeah.
so much content to this.
Mm,
That's $1 an hour, and
man.
I enjoyed a lot of it, all of
It's
it.
so good.
Really, so
Yeah.
good. Yeah,
It sucks you in again and gets you addicted
it
again,
did.
doesn't it? It
I
does.
have not played a game like
Man.
obsessively in a long time. Like last night, literally, it was 11:30, and my wife was like, "We're gonna go to bed." I'm like, I'm not that tired. I think I'm gonna go do some more side quests in Xenoblade, and I was up till 2 a.m. and
Oh
I didn't even
yes.
realize it. Like it had that hook in
Oh,
me.
it's so
So
true.
good,
Oh
so good.
man. Yeah, there was one moment that I was like, yeah, I was just playing and I was like, oh, I gotta eat lunch. I haven't eaten lunch for a while and then I'm like wandering and oh, I gotta go talk to this guy because I need to complete his quest that he had for me. And then I do that and then oh, I got this other one that's like right around the corner now. I gotta go do
Yeah,
that. So yeah, it's so true. It
it
is
it
crazy.
really it's one of those things that pulls you in. Like if
Yeah.
you get lost in the environment, you get
Mm,
lost in the world.
yeah.
It's so well crafted.
Yeah.
And it's one of those that I think if you're a little intimidated by Xenoblade Chronicles 2
Mm,
and you want to give it a try, this is what you try.
mm,
And the nice thing is, I don't know if you download it, if you just download it from the store or how it works, but if you buy the physical copy,
mm.
you get a card, which is the game, just Torna. You also get a download code in here, and the download code is for all the other expansion pass packs. So if you
Mm.
buy this physical and you play through the game, you don't need to use the code. The code won't affect it. But if you say, "Hey, I want to get Xenoblade Chronicles 2," you can then use the code and get all the expansion pass stuff because this costs the same price as the expansion pass.
Oh
So it's
yeah,
really nice they did that.
that
It's
is.
it's really a nice gateway.
Wow.
I urge everybody, if you like
Mm,
RPGs,
mm,
period, if you like adventure
mm.
games, if you played Breath of the Wild and said this is such a good game, I want another similar experience. This
Yeah,
is very similar in some ways and vastly different in others,
yeah,
but it's well worth the adventure.
man.
Um, the music on this series is so good,
Mm,
so good.
mm.
I am amazed that all the new tracks caught me, and all the
So
remixes I
true.
was instantly brought back and humming. I'm like, oh my god,
Oh, it's so good. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Oh man,
unbelievable.
it is. There are just a lot of great things to say about this, and the fact that it is like an expansion pass, but it's in every sense of the way. It's a brand new game, and it's really worth that. So, I mean, they could have really charged $49, $59 for this almost, and just been like, you know what, you can do this, and you get, like you say, all the other expansion pass stuff. I mean, that is wonderful. I kind of hope it does get people to check out Xenoblade Chronicles 2 as well, and I think that's kind of their thought a little bit behind
Yeah.
it. Like, oh, now you're gonna have to go buy Xenoblade Chronicles 2
Well,
because
not only
you
that,
like
but
this.
if you bought this for 30 and then if you bought by the regular game and you're like, oh, I want those extra DLC stuff, I got to pay another $30. people would be complaining. So you're not losing
Yeah.
anything by getting the physical. In
Mm.
fact, you're actually saving if you were able to pre-order with Amazon when they still had their bonus, or Best Buy if you still have Gamer Club. You're actually saving more, money doing it that way than what we did by buying the expansion pass right
Mm.
away.
Oh wow.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Mm. So there you go. That's right. Good
I mean,
good
what
tip
else is
there.
there to
So
say about this?
oh man.
Glowing review, glowing
Yeah,
review.
it really is. So we love it, and if you remember, we did the game chat on Xenoblade Chronicles 2, didn't we, Barry? Yeah.
Did.
So oh, that's right. And we tried to convince the rest of our Nintendo Fuse group at that time to pick up this game, play it, and enjoy it. They're all nervous about getting sucked
You know,
in, I
you
think
know
is what it is, isn't
what
it?
it is Xenoblade Chronicles is a phenomenal game. I absolutely love the first game, but
Hmm.
the battle system is different than this. And some
Mm,
people liked the battle system like me, and some people didn't. And
yeah.
Xenoblade Chronicles X has a different battle system too, and Xenoblade
Hmm.
Chronicles 2 has a different battle system.
Yeah.
So if they play one and they don't like it, they instantly like I'm not going to like the others. And I think you need to
Mm,
give each a chance.
mm,
Um, there really is a difference between them. There's a difference
mm.
between this and the regular Xenoblade Chronicles 2 in terms of battle systems as
Yeah,
well.
there is. That's right. That's right.
This is definitely more accessible,
Hmm.
and
Absolutely.
I think if you have the knowledge of this game going into Xenoblade Chronicles 2, it's going to be that much easier.
Oh
Even though
wow.
you may be
Yeah.
like, well, I wish I could swap back and forth between my driver and
Yeah.
my blade. You can't do that anymore.
All right.
But you still have enough basics to okay. Well, I have three blades
Yeah.
instead,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. I
Yeah.
have blades to swap between.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's
there's like
just
these side quests in Torna that really teach you how to do a lot of the battle mechanics, like
yeah.
you're saying, and you didn't have that in the original. And I honestly was like, oh yeah, if I had that, I could have brought a lot of stuff. It would have been more like a tutorial kind of thing that I
It's
wouldn't have
funny
known I
because like
wanted.
like even into chapter 6 and 7, you still got tutorials in the original
Yes,
game.
you did.
Like
That's right.
the
Oh
first
man.
chapter and first two chapters are nothing but tutorials pretty much, and they're
Oh
still good
yeah.
chapters.
Yeah.
There's still tutorials, but it's not nearly the same. And
Yeah.
like I said, there's a lot of it's thrown into quests.
Mm,
Go
hmm.
chain attack this guy, or go do this, or go do that. Like,
Yep.
okay, that's easy enough to do.
That's right. That's
There's
right.
there's less there's still like the notorious monsters or the named monsters. They're still there.
Yep.
Some of them are pretty tricky
Mm,
to
hmm.
find.
Yeah.
Some of them are right there, like, oh, it's right in your path.
It's
Have fun.
so crazy. That's right. That's
New
right.
monster types. It was great to see new monster types thrown in there because
Mm,
Torn is a whole new continent. New Titan has all new,
hmm.
enemy types and all new
Mm,
ecosystem.
hmm.
And it just, I almost wish that you could patch the original game and throw Torna in there and just be like, oh, I could now go
Oh,
back to that island.
so
Um,
true. Yeah.
and
Oh,
um,
that's true. That'd be
but
awesome. That would be because it's a wonderful land to explore too. So
very
I
pretty.
really enjoyed that. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
But
Wow,
if you
man,
are
that's great.
honestly on the fence, you need to try this. If you
Yeah.
like adventure games, you need to try this. If you like role playing, you like to try this. If you like just exploring and light platforming, you need to try this. If you like great stories and great music, you need to try this. Like there is virtually no reason you should not at least give this a try. If
Mm,
you give it 2 3 hours and you say, you know what, this isn't for me, I'll respect that.
mm,
But if you put 2 to 3 hours and you say I can't put this down, then welcome to the club, because that's what it does. It pulls you in. It's so good.
oh,
And I know this year we've got Smash coming out and Pokemon coming out and Super Mario Party coming out, and we've had Kirby and we've had some other great titles, and it's like, oh well, what's going to be game of the year? It's a big thing. Right
mm,
now this is up there. This is actually in my top three so far
oh,
of the year.
yeah.
This might be the upset to take out Smash for me, and that's huge.
Yeah.
So we have to wait and see.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to hear what you guys think. Did you
Mm,
guys get it today on the day of filming on launch day? Did you guys get the expansion pass and have it a week early?
mm,
What did you think? Let
mm,
us know in the comments below how you like Torna versus the original Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Or if you didn't play the original and you're playing this and you say, you know what, this is a gateway, now I want to try Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Let us know. We're always up for discussing Xenoblade Chronicles.
oh, you
Speaking of
bet.
discussing, stay tuned to Nintendo Fuse and please subscribe. We have more game discussions all the time. We've got podcasts, industry talks, gameplays. We're doing top 10s. There's a bunch of great content coming. So please stick here to NintendoFuse.com. Blake, thank you for joining me tonight.
Yeah, thank you, Barry, for discussing Xenoblade 2 with me again. So, awesome. Good stuff.
All right, guys. Have yourself a great night.
Bye, everybody.